Pull up a stool and pour yourself a pint as you're about to join three intrepid drinkers, Kevin, Justin, and Mark, as they embark on another Beertastic voyage.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Beertastic Voyage. My name is Kevin.
I'm Mark.
And I'm Justin.
And we are here today to drink beers from Westhampton Beach Brewing Company, the new establishment out, I think it's by the airport, right?
Yeah,
out by
right.
Beertastic.
Yeah, it's on the, I think technically in the airport property.
Yeah. I didn't know if it's, is it in that like weird little shopping village before the airport?
Yeah, just north of the airport.
Yeah.
105.
I say before because it's closer to
No,
the
it's
highway,
not
so therefore it
105. What
occurs
is that?
before.
51? No.
Doesn't really.
Yeah.
The only highway that goes past, the only road that goes past Beertastic Airport.
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
welcome to our new show, Map Logistics.
So, Mark, you had your lovely wife pick these up for us because she works out in that neck of the woods, correct?
That is correct. My lovely wife was a willing beer meal for us on Friday.
Part of the house.
After emailing the info address on Tuesday, inquiring whether or not we could get fills on 32-ounce growlers because I only saw pricing for 64-ounce growlers.
Yes.
And not getting a response, I messaged them on Facebook on Friday and got a pretty quick response. So.
Okay.
Right, so yeah.
And they said, oh yeah, no problem, we'll adjust the price accordingly. And according to my wife, number one, their minds were blown by these growlers because apparently they've never seen like the mini growlers before.
Really?
Yeah.
It takes a while to get out that far, I guess. I don't know.
Amy was like, I put them down on the bar and everybody was looking at them like, whoa.
She should have told them we have one of those Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, like, laser rays, and that's how we did it.
But
Wait, are you hiding Rick Moranis in your basement too?
yeah. That's why nobody's seen them.
Exactly.
In addition to that, though, they apparently didn't, in their POS system, didn't have like anything for the 32-ounce growlers, so they had to charge her for like the 64-ounce growler and then manually adjust the price down by 50%
That's funny.
in order to charge her for them. So
There you go.
Whatever, they worked it out.
yeah, I just thought it was funny. But anyway, the brewery itself was founded in 2016 by Brian Skip and John Salvaggio, who are like longtime buddies and former partners in other ventures. And they were joined by Kathleen Tedesco, who is another veteran Long Island business person who, from some previous time, was in, knew Dave Tedesco, who was
Right.
the former head brewer at John Harvard's.
Right, and that's how
RIP.
that's how I knew about the place getting started because I'd followed Dave, and I was like, oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, one of our favorite places.
So they I don't remember if it was Kickstarter or Indiegogo, but they did the crowdfunding campaign and so forth, and they opened up their doors, I think back in May, or was it June? Earlier.
I want to say it
earlier
was
in the
June.
year.
I think it was the summer, like the start of the summer that they
Yeah.
opened up.
So they've only been open for a little while. They're still sticking to some like straightforward beers and keeping the selection
Right.
pared down, I guess you could say,
Mm-hmm.
while they're still settling in over there.
Right. I remember reading the press release when it first came out, but it was specifically stated that they weren't just going to be John Harvard's East,
Right.
which, some of the beers that he used to make there are, I can take or leave, and some that I really like. So I'm hoping that a few of the ones that I really like come back.
I would like to see the Chupacabra come back.
I wasn't familiar enough with any of their specific beers. I had easily had all of them, but at the time I was drinking them, I didn't have enough knowledge to know what the hell was going on.
They used to make an Irish stout, like a dry stout there that I thought was particularly awesome. And so the beers we have from them today are a blonde, a stout, and a copper ale, correct?
Correct.
And we're going to start off with the blonde ale. What's the details on the blonde here?
I don't have much of anything, actually, now that I think about it, because I asked my wife to take a picture of the menu of the board, and she did neither.
Let me
She
see if
took-
I can social media one of those.
She took pictures of, like, the space, but
Okay.
I don't even have the ABV.
All right.
Let's see what we can do.
Well,
Meantime,
well,
you guys do
well,
some,
Justin Google's it.
tasting.
We're gonna look at it.
I mean,
and
good luck, because I tried to do that myself as well, and I didn't come up with much.
It's got a nice light yellow color.
Yeah, it's
to
a
it.
nice golden color.
Clear. You can see through it. I mean, I think it's a little bit of a chill hit more than anything else. I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the beer fridge is set pretty cold at the moment. So.
Right. But it looks like a nice, tasty beer. I'm assuming because it was in the little growler that we lost a little bit on the carbonation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm sure it would be a bit frothier on top. But
It has a nice grainy, sweet aroma to it.
yeah, it smells very much like your common blonde ale. Taking the first sip, I immediately get light bready notes.
Yeah.
You know, it's no caramel to speak of. No caramel to speak of. Just no toastiness to speak of. Just very
Yeah,
much.
it's white bread.
Yeah, it's the crust of white bread. That's what it is.
Yes, it's actually a really good way of putting it. It has
Yeah.
that.
Like it's slightly more cooked than what regular white bread. It's the crust of white bread.
Yeah, it's toasty. It's got a little toast action to it. It's really clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It has a nice crisp finish.
Yeah,
Because it's a little on the sweet side, but it does, it finishes pretty dry, which makes me want to go back to that next sip.
Yeah, it has a nice cleaning bitterness.
Yeah.
And I mean, not my favorite style of beer, but this is really well done.
I think this is a good barbecue or like good burgers and beers kind of beer to have. We're gonna have burgers. We're gonna have some brats. This is gonna be clean enough to clean it off, and keep you drinking more and still make you feel hydrated.
Yes.
I'm liking it.
Yeah, it is nice. They also have a strawberry variant of this on tap at the moment.
I think that would be pretty killer. A little bit of the additional sweetness / tartness from the strawberries.
Yeah, Amy said she had a tasting of it while she was there and she enjoyed it, but I figured we'd better off start with the base.
No, I agree. That's a good idea.
So
I hope they do some more of that, especially if they do stick to sort of how John Harvard did, have some more of the more base styles.
Yeah.
Be able to for some of them, or just take a little bit and do something a little extra. It would be a neat thing to do, especially out there.
Yes, when you have the access to some of the more local produce even faster. Not that where they were, with John Harvard's, it was a corporate restaurant.
Right.
You weren't going to have this quite the same flexibility, even though there was a lot of flexibility in what they were doing. Just not quite the same. You just limited space.
Right. The other part of it is the idea that you have to have the food part of it too.
Yeah.
So you got to try to keep everything together.
Mm-hmm. I think this is really tasty. You guys, I wish it was a little bit more carbonated. I think that would really add to the experience for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, so that's the danger with having a growler. It's only a day old. So it's not like it's going to lose that much, but it is what it is. It's still a fantastic blonde. It's a pint for me because it's just not my personal favorite style of beer.
Yeah.
But I do agree that it is probably one of the better versions of one these have had.
I think I'm going to second you on the pint. This would be a great beer for me to have with a meal. Yeah, I just want to have a beer to just clean off whatever I'm eating. I would go with this, no questions. Be happy about it.
I'm going to go a little higher and give it a bomber. I think it is really refreshing, and I'd easily drink two of these. And excuse me, I'll throw this back.
Yeah. We're just going to go all muppet on it.
Wow, it's really hard to.
Were you able to find anything, Connor?
No, I wasn't able to find the board, but it's on Untappd. But whoever put it on Untappd did a real shit job and didn't list the ABV on it.
There's also a bunch of shit on Untappd that is listed as Westhampton Beach Brewery, and that's not the name of the place. So,
yeah,
like I said, I tried to find it myself, and I didn't find anything that I thought was reputable.
I think it's Untappd is good in theory, but I think poor in execution, just because you're asking for user-generated content from people that have been drinking consistently.
Right.
It's not even just that. It's my problem is that you're able to enter your own beer. I don't think you should be able to do that.
What,
meaning
Like you could enter one of your homebrews on it? Like,
we definitely can. I don't have that much of a problem with that.
Right.
But meaning, like, when a brewery releases a beer, like, it's up to a user to be the first person to enter it.
Yeah.
So you end up sometimes with 4 or 5 entries for one beer. Because, like you said, someone's drunk and they couldn't find it because they were hammered, so they just make another one.
yeah.
And then it gets a little annoying. Like, for instance, I was able to find Westhampton Beach Brewing Company. The only beer listed on Untappd is the North Shore Strawberry Blonde. And
Right.
it's at 4% ABV and 17 IBUs.
All right. So I think we can assume that it's probably pretty close to that in the 4% range.
Well, yeah, I would say it couldn't be too far off the base one. I don't think strawberries is going to add that much fermentable sugar depending on what they add.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I gotta knock this back. I'm gonna pass it over to Justin. Let him.
It's definitely a sessionable beer.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the bitter finish there, which is, again, strange for anybody who listens to us all the time, because I don't like bitter things at all. But without that bitter finish, it would actually be fairly sweet.
No, I think it's a good level of bitterness on the finish there. It has to be cleansing and not to be to the point where it kicks you back, where it's attacking you.
I just poured out the copper ale, which is basically an amber ale, and this one's not going to have any issue with carbonation. It has beautiful like off-white head on it, and it sure is amber. It's a damn pretty beer.
Yeah, it's almost the color of the glass that it's coming out of.
Right.
But yeah, definitely carbonation is much better on this one.
Yeah, this one has a really nice caramel sweetness on it.
Oh, nice. Better
Yeah.
seal on the cap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a nice caramel aroma on the nose, and I can also smell the hops.
Yeah.
No, this is I'm excited about this. I haven't tried it yet.
Definitely probably like noble spicy hops is what I'm getting.
Like a Saz.
Yeah.
And it's on the flavor of the same thing. You're getting, kind of starts out with a really nice, very light caramel notes, and then it transitions right to that spice note from the hop.
Yeah, this is really smooth. I expected a more pronounced bitterness.
Yeah, they got a great aroma on it, and they were able to really tame the hot bitterness and balance it with the sweetness.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you think of copper ales or red ales, that you expect something to have a little bit more of that.
Yeah,
that hop bite.
Yeah,
to
I'm
it.
expecting
Most
a darker colored pale ale.
Yeah, I think the most commercial example I can think of is always the Killian's Irish Red.
Right.
It's just much sharper than this. This one is really nice, very smooth. But I don't. I think the spiciness that you're talking about, I agree, is that like noblesse spiciness. It's not spicy like baking spices or anything.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could almost take this as a base and then start to make some seasonal adjustments to it if you wanted to.
Easily.
It has a really great body to the beer too.
Yeah.
It's not like a heavy beer by any stretch, but the weight of the beer is very complementary to the both the sweetness and the spice.
Yeah. I want to warm it up a little bit and kind of see how this changes up for it, but
I bet the caramel notes
would come through.
Yeah,
more,
it
right?
would be a lot stronger.
I feel like this is one of those ones that you could be sitting around and have these for a while.
Yeah.
And we don't know any details on this one either.
I got nothing.
Well, it certainly doesn't taste hot in that sense. I mean, I'm going to say that the ABV is probably pretty low on it.
Yeah, I would say 6 or less.
I'm going to give it the old college try here, but
warming it up a little bit, the caramel definitely comes through a little bit more.
yeah, that's pretty standard for the style. I'm really happy with the hop level on it, though. A lot of times when you get an amber ale, the hop is going to be, the hop is going to be much more pronounced. And style-wise, it might even be supposed to be, but I like it better.
No, I like this a lot, and I'm going to go with a bomber on this one. I want to drink these. I think you could use it as a great base style to start off, to make some seasonal adjustments for it, to make something a little more crazy. But just for regular drinking, I'd be happy with this one too. And enjoy it.
Yeah, I was able to find it on Untappd. It's 5.02% ABV. I'm going to guess the guy just meant 5%.
Okay.
And 20 IBUs.
Yeah, that sounds kind of low. We were
Believable,
expecting.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, it might not be correct because whoever put this in here was shit faced, but it seems pretty accurate. I'm also going to go with the bomber. It's really, really well done. I could definitely drink more of it, but I'm probably going to move on to a different flavor after two.
I'm going to go down to a pint on this one just because I think it's a little sweet for me, and I don't know that I'm going to want a second glass after the first. But it is still pleasantly surprising.
Really well done beer. Not another one that's clean and just very much to style and what you would expect to get, which is not always the most exciting thing. Like when you want to go for a crazy beer, but when you want something that's really really reliable. And I imagine once they know their reliability factor is very high, they'll probably venture out a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you want it. Even though I feel like some of the breweries that have started recently aren't necessarily holding hard to that, let's make a flagship beer and then go nuts.
Yeah.
I think you still need to be able to consistently produce a few beers that are going to pay the bills first.
Oh,
that'll help you pay the bills, and then you can get a little bit more creative.
Get used to the system. Know how what kind of bitterness you're going to pull out of the hops.
Here's something that I've dialed in really well that I know I can manufacture the same way a dozen times, and okay, now I can start to experiment with it a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, I always think of Paul's crazy old system at Brickhouse and how he's like, it's completely different.
Yeah,
and the learning curve must have been really crazy.
Yeah, and all the things that he does to make it work.
Yeah, like sacrificing 40 virgins, and all the other kind of weird things he has to do.
Yeah, when I was there for the brew day, it's really amazing. Him and Brian, both of them, just like knowing exactly when to pull a lever.
Yeah.
Like it was like a Willy Wonka chocolate factory moment, like when they're running around.
Yeah, like it's like when Biff, he's the only one that can start that car.
Right.
Like, that's what it is.
But so much of his brew day is like him looking inside the mash tunder, inside the boil kettle with a flashlight.
Yeah, that's like half the social media post. Paul, flashlight again.
I just want him to have like the headlamp. I'm just picturing Paul with a headlamp.
We should just drop a headlamp.
No, it's like the big police issue mag light.
Yeah, no, I'm just picturing him though with a headlamp on now and just sticking his head.
You know what I gotta give him? I gotta give him one of my father's old conductors, like train lamps, like the gas ones, and so he just use that.
Old-timey train lamp.
Yeah. But we poured out the
Irish
stout.
Eyes.
Yeah, you said the Irish dry stout, right?
No, it's cream stout.
Oh,
Or they call it's Irish Eyes cream stout, which I assume is a milk stout.
Damn, it smells good.
I'm wondering if this is the Irish stout that he used to make at
I don't think so. I get a lot of like milk chocolate.
Oh yeah,
on the
it's like all milk chocolate.
I haven't even
tried it. When I first poured it out, the most prominent aroma I got was roast, but now I just get milk chocolate.
Just to finish off the my thoughts on the copper from before, Mark, you said that you think it's a little too sweet to go for that second glass. I think it's just sweet enough that it's going to sucker me in for that second glass and be like, yeah, I just want a little bit more of that. Like, it's just on that line for me. I just thought it was funny that it was the exact quality that you were like, I'm going to limit it. It's going to limit me a little bit, and I'm like, no, that's going to sucker me in just a little bit more.
That's exactly where I was.
It's good, but it's not.
I understand. We're on the same page. We both really like it. I just think it's funny that the exact quality that's making you go, yeah, let me pump the brakes for a second. It's the same thing that's making me go, come on, man.
See, what's interesting is it's definitely a personality thing, because both you and I, when we're presented with a bowl of M&Ms, we will continuously eat them for the most part. I mean, you'll restrain yourself far more than I will, but it's gonna be hard for both of us to stop eating them, where Mark can have a bag of M&Ms for 6 months, have one or two like a week, and then just sort of be okay with it. Because you don't strive for sweetness. I try to fill my entire heart with sweetness, and you're somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I don't understand why they make resealable bags from them. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, they don't fucking go bad anyway. You leave that bag open. I mean,
it's true.
It's got that candy shell protecting it.
I've been working off that same bag of peanut butter M&Ms since Christmas.
I know. That's precisely what I'm referring to.
Let's see, Tommy boy.
Yes.
It's okay to have a thin candy shell. Your brain has a thin candy shell, Tommy.
When you smell this, if you don't know it's a milk stout, you're pretty. Your nose is dead. You definitely get a very sweet dairy smell from it. It's almost like an ice cream like smell.
Yeah, and it is a really tasty beer.
Yeah. What's interesting to me is this is, I mean, obviously, as the name would suggest, it's very sweet. Milk stout. It is really sweet, but there's just enough of either hops or roast to balance it at the end. But I can't identify which of those things it is. I pretty much just get a really smooth, like a very light chocolate milk situation.
It's very sweet. Not in a syrupy kind of sweetness, but there is very much that lactose sugar.
Yeah.
Really present in here. Tastes almost like sweetened condensed milk. Yeah, like you guys ever have that? Like when you mix it, you know, and you try to
start Chicago this morning.
Yeah, you have just a little bit of that, and you're like, oh yeah, that's what I'm wanting there. That being said, I almost want a little bit more. And Justin, you kind of mentioned it has this balancing hop stand. I almost wish they balanced it out a little bit more.
I could agree with that.
Or maybe just reduce the lactose a little bit.
Yeah, I think just cut down the lactose a little bit, or maybe crank up those hops just a tiny bit on the back end, almost to create that effect that I love so much of when it goes. Oh, okay, I'm now experiencing a little bit of bitter, so I want to go back and get that sweet back.
Well, that's why I think like just reducing the lactose a little bit would work well, because the bitterness / astringency kind of hangs around for a little while.
Yeah.
After the sip, and increasing that, I think, is going to go in the wrong way. So I would rather reduce the sweetness a little bit.
Okay, so let's play a game.
Yahtzee.
Omaha.
Blue 42.
What? Sorry, I just follow along with everything.
42
Thank you, John Groot. What's the ABV of the beer? Take a guess.
42.
I think it's going to be, that's a stout. It's going to be shockingly low. I think it's going to be 3.8.
It is 8.9%.
No fucking way. No fucking way.
I don't believe that.
I found three different entries that all say the same thing. So
wow. If that's the case, this is super dangerous.
It also could explain some of the sweetness, because you are going to get an additional sweetness from alcohol.
Yeah. If that's the case, then this is the kind of beer that would just accidentally like put you like.
This is the one where you're like, oh, that was really good. I'll have another one, and then halfway through that second glass, you're like, I'm fucking hammered.
Yeah, and you're like,
it would have been one of those ones where I handed someone else the keys and be like, yeah, you're driving me home. I can't do this all of a sudden.
And that person's like, wait, I had 3 of those.
Yeah. Well, we're here forever now.
Let's go next door to the 7-Eleven to get donuts.
We live here now.
Yes, this is where we live.
So
where we stay.
I'm assuming that there's some text on here from Untappd, and since there were similar entries, I'm assuming the text came from the board or from the menu. And it says, this sweet milk stout, black in color, made with lactose, that adds both body and sweetness. The chocolate ball, named so for color, not flavor, gives a roaded texture that helps balance the sweetness. Inspired by the Irish car bomb shop without the mess.
Yeah.
It is a delicious blend of classic stout and the flavor of Irish cream.
Okay, that they just said that. That's absolutely right. Justin, I know you put a couple. Mark, you got a few of those.
I've put a bunch of those back.
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely hits that that kind of combination. For anyone that may not know, an Irish car bomb drink, you usually pour a shot, which is arguably some combination of Irish cream and Irish whiskey, dump it into your pint of stout, and then slam the whole thing back before it all curdles.
Right.
And it creates a very chocolate shake, chocolate milk kind of feeling to it. But the whiskey sweetness is there, and the Irish cream sweetness is there, and putting those words to it really, like, light bulb thing. Yeah, if that's what you were going for, you would 100% hit that out of the park with it.
As this is warming up too, I'm definitely getting some warmth from the alcohol from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will believe that now at this point. I didn't notice that on the initial pour.
Kind of a little more of the whiskey feel to it.
Yeah.
Which, after you drink that drink, and your stomach is done
The boozy
churning.
warming in my throat.
Yeah.
I'm getting the butterflies right now. So.
Yeah. Oh.
I believe I have the vapors.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much exactly how I feel right now. I'm like, damn, dude. And an interesting note. I put no stock in online ratings for most anything, especially like Untappd and beer related shit.
Yeah.
So, but there are about 50 entries for this particular beer,
Yeah.
and the average rating is like a 4.24. So obviously, everyone who drinks this loves this beer.
Yeah, I definitely see it being enjoyable, and I feel like this was a really good flight that we did, progression-wise.
Mm.
And I feel like this is the one that, whatever else we threw in the middle for a fourth beer, but like if we were at the brewery and we got to this one, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna get a pint of this one afterwards, and then wow, I drank more than I should have again. Like it's really tasty.
Can we get some food? Oh, fuck, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Can we get some food? No, the whole town doesn't let us have food trucks. They don't even exist here.
Yeah. Can we get some MREs for the base next door? Come on, anything.
Exactly.
Just give me anything.
Some peanuts fall off a plane.
Yeah, something. I'm really happy with this, and for me, this one is probably going to be a bomber again. The sweetness of it will probably prevent me from going to a growler on it, but I've said it a few times before, but this is one of those beers that on a certain night I might drink more than I should have on this one and really enjoy it.
Yeah, this can get you into trouble. It's going to be a bomber for me as well for the sweetness, even for my sweet tooth.
Yeah.
Having any more than that is going to really be overwhelming on my palate. But, again, all three of these beers were insanely well made. Like, there's nothing even remotely wrong with it.
Yeah.
No. I'm not going to make it a hat trick on this one and give it a bomber as well. I'm going to save that bomber for, the right occasion. But, it's going to be like, oh, all right.
It's almost got a little...
Time to treat myself.
I just finished the sample that I poured out, and I almost got a little like marshmallow kind of feel to it too at the end. At the end of it,
it does have a little bit.
But yeah, this was a really good sampling. I'm really excited to get out there now and try a couple more of the beers.
I mean, the pictures of the taster itself look really
Yeah, it looks like they have a nice, really wide open space there.
Yeah.
I know they've got a little bit of like surfer theme going on, but anything on the beach has got to have a surf theme.
Their website even has links to like surf camps, so you
Okay.
can check out the waves at different beaches and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Surfing is one of those things that like I kind of want to try in my life. Not necessarily like pipeline surfing because that terrifies me, but surfing you can legitimately do on like chill waves, like endless summer kind of just cruising waves, and you can be a fat guy and it's perfectly cool for you to surf stuff.
Yeah, but you have to wear the wetsuit. Because if you take your shirt off, everyone's always like, "What the fuck is wrong with that guy?"
Only on the East Coast, man.
Well, yeah, I'm sure about being fat.
Yeah, no, I think on the West Coast you could get away with being. You could.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
man.
just kind of move.
Come on,
I
think about
don't
it.
need to diet. I just have to move. That's
Yeah, you just gotta move,
Yeah.
tan it up a little bit,
Oh.
and then you'll be all right.
That's a good point. Yeah, see, surfing freaks me out in particular around here because of how much shark fishing I did growing up and working on boats to like shark tournaments.
Yeah.
And just the epic number of sharks that we caught, like not far from beaches and shit. I know that
considering recently.
obviously people don't get bit all that often. It's like a rare occasion. But again, me in a wetsuit, I feel like they're like, that's the biggest fucking seal I've ever seen here. And they're just gonna like it's gonna be like that Air Jaws show on Discovery Channel.
Oh man,
How did I get to South Africa?
what happened here? Well, thankfully this brewery is much closer than South Africa, and even though it still may feel like it's quite a trek to get out to it, I think it's going to be worth the trip out there, and I'm looking forward to doing it soon.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You guys have anything else? Is there any outside news or notes we need to discuss?
No, I mean, I think we've talked about the beers that we're doing for Crab Classic before. We'll remind everybody they can come out to Picture State Park on August 11th for the Crab Classic. And, the homebrew club will be pouring as well, along with, your
40, at least 40 some odd breweries.
yeah, an enormous cast of both local and national level breweries. It's a really fun day. And if you do happen to come down, look for Long Beer Malt Enthusiast tent. Mark and I will both be there. And
I will not be there this year, but
Yeah.
I'll be there in spirit.
Indeed, you will.
We'll drink for you.
I'll be having plenty of drinks. I just won't be drinking there.
Can I have your mac and cheese?
They
That
probably
way you
won't
can
have
actually get some mac and cheese. Yeah, sure. All right. I think that's about it. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
If you enjoyed Beertastic Voyage, please be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to review and rate us. The guys can be found online at www.beertasticvoyage.com, on Facebook at www.facebook.com/beertasticvoyage, and Twitter and Instagram at Beertastic Show, or send them a good old-fashioned email at beertasticvoyage@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers for local beers.